Imagine this. You're watching your baby sleep peacefully, their tiny chest rising and falling, that soft smile on their face. You'd give your whole world to keep them safe, wouldn't you? But now imagine something invisible, something silent, like a virus, slipping into that peace. What if I told you there's a way to stop it before it ever gets close? Welcome to the Mother Doctor, where we make parenting simpler, safer, and stronger. Today, we're diving into something every parent wonders about. Is natural immunity better than vaccination? Or to put it simply, should I let my child fight off a disease on their own? Or should I protect them through a vaccine? Stay with me, because what you'll hear today can change the way you think about protecting your child forever. Let's start with a moment that might feel familiar. Your toddler is in daycare. Another child has a cough, maybe a mild fever. The next thing you know, your child is burning up with a 103-degree fever and struggling to breathe. The diagnosis: whooping cough, a disease that could have been prevented with a vaccine. You've probably heard someone say, "I had measles as a child. I survived." Or, "Isn't it better to build real immunity by catching the illness?" It sounds natural, even logical. But is it safe? Here's the truth. Natural immunity might come with a very high cost. Let me explain this the way I would if you and I were sitting together for a cup of coffee, with your baby nestled in your arms. When a baby is born, their immune system is like a blank notebook. It's ready to learn, but doesn't know much yet. When a virus like measles or whooping cough enters the body, the immune system scrambles to fight back. But if it doesn't recognize the enemy, the fight can turn dangerous, fast. Take measles, for example. Most people think it's just a rash and fever. But in reality, it can cause brain swelling, pneumonia, and lifelong complications. Even worse, it can wipe out your child's immune memory, making them vulnerable to other diseases for years. Would you want your baby to face that? Here's a quick data point. Before the measles vaccine was introduced, nearly 500 people died every year from measles in the United States alone. Now, thanks to vaccination, those deaths have dropped by more than 99%. Now think about chickenpox. Yes, we all hear it's mild. We all had it. But did you know it can cause skin infections, lung problems, and a painful condition called shingles later in life? Why let your baby go through all that when there's a safer way? This is where vaccines come in, not to replace nature, but to make it safer. Vaccines are like smart teachers for your child's immune system. They show the immune system a harmless version, or small piece of the germ, so the body learns how to fight it without ever getting sick. It's like letting your child practice for a test before facing the real thing. And that practice builds memory. Real immunity, but without the risk of pain, complications, or hospital stays. And here's something that surprises many parents. Vaccine immunity can be just as strong, sometimes stronger, than the natural kind. Still listening? I'm glad, because this part is so important. Let's be honest, when we think of vaccines, we think of needles, fevers, a fussy baby for a day or two. And yes, some mild side effects happen. That's actually a good sign. It means your child's immune system is doing its job. But serious side effects? They are extremely rare. Meanwhile, serious effects from the disease itself, like seizures, hearing loss, brain damage, those happen far more often. Some parents worry that vaccines contain harmful ingredients like mercury. But here's the truth. Thimerosal, a mercury-based preservative, was removed from all routine childhood vaccines in the U.S. over 20 years ago. And even when it was used, it was in such tiny amounts that it was never proven harmful. Most childhood vaccines today contain no thimerosal at all. And that's the difference. With vaccines, we prepare your child's body safely. Without them, we're taking a gamble. You know, as a doctor, I've seen so many parents come in full of worry. Some are hesitant. Some just need a calm explanation. And I always say, choosing vaccines doesn't mean you don't trust nature. It means you're giving your child the tools to fight safely. No parent wants to see their child suffer to learn a lesson. And that's what natural immunity often means. Learning through sickness, through suffering, through risk. But vaccines? They let your child skip the suffering and go straight to the protection. Here's another reason vaccination is powerful. It's not just about your child. When you vaccinate your baby, you're helping protect newborns too young for vaccines. You're protecting children fighting cancer or living with conditions that weaken their immune system. You're helping build a wall that keeps the entire community safe. That's what we call herd immunity. It's one of the most beautiful examples of how parenting isn't just personal, it's powerful. Let me ask you something personal, Mama. If you knew a storm was coming and you had a strong roof ready, would you wait for the rain to pour before covering your baby? Of course not. Vaccination is that roof. It's protection before the danger strikes. It's peace of mind in a world that sometimes feels scary. Let's also bust a common myth here. Too many vaccines will overload my baby's immune system. That's not true. Every day, your baby's immune system handles thousands of bacteria, viruses, and particles. From crawling, touching, even just breathing. A vaccine? It's just a tiny drop in the ocean, compared to what their body sees every day. In fact, vaccines train the immune system to be smarter, faster, and stronger. Let me share something from experience. The saddest moments I've seen weren't when babies had fevers or cried after shots. They were in emergency rooms with parents, crying over babies fighting a disease they could have been protected from. Those moments are haunting, and they are preventable. So today, if you're on the fence, let this be your gentle nudge. Choosing vaccination isn't a reaction. It's a decision made out of love and power. Let's recap this softly just for clarity. Natural immunity happens after your child gets sick. But sickness can bring real pain and real danger. Vaccines give your child immunity without that suffering. They teach the body to fight safely. They protect your baby and others. And they save lives. This isn't fear-based parenting. It's wise parenting. I know you want to be informed. You want to do what's right. And that's exactly why you're here, watching, listening, learning. You're showing up for your child. And I see you. You're doing great. So, Mama, next time someone says, let them catch the illness and build immunity naturally, you can calmly say, I choose to protect my child before the pain starts. And feel confident in that choice. Thank you for being here on The Mother Doctor. If this video helped you feel more clear, more confident, or even just a little more peaceful, please hit the like button. It lets me know these conversations matter. And share this with another parent who needs to hear this truth today. Make sure to subscribe because we have so many gentle, science-backed parenting guides coming your way. All made just for moms like you. And remember, you are the expert on your baby. I'm just here to walk alongside you. See you next time.